I'm Christine Hugh-Jones. I'm the Secretary of the Brecon and Radnor branch of the Campaign for the Protection of Rural Wales, so I live in Powys, and I am a trustee of Friends of the Upper Wye, so I'm very involved in the citizen science as well.
So tell us what's going on with the maps today and what questions people have been asking you.
Well, what's going on with the maps is that since 2015, CPRW has been cataloguing every single planning application and looking at the growth of the intensive poultry industry and indeed the pig industry, although that's more difficult, in Powys. And then we got involved, at least I in particular, got involved in the citizen science movement we're looking at Powys, and Friends of the Upper Wye goes down as far as Hereford. And so we're interested in these maps in relation to the water quality all the way down the catchment, because there's no doubt that farming practices have changed enormously in the last 10 years.
So what are people coming up with? Are people surprised? Are people already knowledgeable? What are you finding from the public?
People who live in Powys know there's a lot of chickens, but people are coming up and saying, wow, that is a lot of chicken farms, chicken industries rather, industrial units they are. And in fact, somebody's told me today about a pig unit I didn't know existed, which is quite interesting.
So are people already knowledgeable about the state of the Wye, or how are people, what is people's knowledge?
People are fairly knowledgeable, but one of the things that we're trying to do is make people understand about what a catchment is. You know, people know about their little stream and they know about the main Wye, but what we want to get across is the idea of how wherever you are, a little trickle runs into a stream, runs into another stream, runs into the river, runs into the Wye, runs in, and what happens over the whole land. You know, it's talked about as a river problem, but actually it's a land problem, because it's what's happening on the land that's going into the river. And, you know, I think this requires another way of thinking. And one of the real problems is that the Wye, which arises in the Powys Hills by and large, then flows into England, then flows back into Wales in Monmouthshire, and then flows into the Severn Estuary, which again is in England. So, you know, we've got two governments, we've got two different environment agencies on either side of the border, and in Wales you've got the overarching British government, so you've got Parliament, but you've also got the Welsh devolved government. So you've got so many different people involved, and you haven't got one force concentrating on the Wye.
So what are you hoping today will achieve? What do you want the impact of today to be?
Well, we would look like some stronger legislation and enforcement about farming practices. Not that anybody's against farming, but it's a question of short-term and long-term benefits. And we can't go on creating conditions in which biodiversity declines and our water quality declines at the rate it is doing at the moment. So it's thinking ahead and putting in practice things which will, you know, try and turn around what's happening. Of course, we really can't do that with different laws, different will to enforce them, and in the end, different behaviour from ourselves. Maybe we can't eat so many chickens.
Just tell us quickly about your postcard. Give us a brief little intro to what you're asking people to do. Can you lift it up?
Yes. This postcard was a few weeks ago, one Sunday evening. The citizen scientists throughout the Wye catchment were invited to the Warren, which is in a beach on the River Wye, Hay-on-Wye, and we all stood up and made this SOS symbol, and a drone came over and photographed us. And it is just absolutely brilliant. These were people coming in buses and cars from all over the place. Of course, there are many more citizen scientists than that because not everybody can come on a given Sunday evening. But
What are you
I think
asking people to do with those?
with these postcards, we're asking them to write to their MP, who might be Jessie Norman in Hereford, or might be Faye Jones in Brecon and Radnorshire, and also to their Senate member, Welsh Government, James Evans in Brecon and Radnorshire, and just say what they think about the why, because in the end, if the power doesn't come from above, it won't happen. And it will only come from above if there's enough pressure to make our rather resistant governments turn round and make sure that the polluter pays.